Hello, this is Sierra and welcome to another video. Today we're doing another video inside of the Hermitcraft Steed and Clockwork story. We are doing another chapter in that story. We are going to be reading chapter 6, which is the longest one in the story. And we'll see how much time we have left if we're going to do chapter 7. If not, then that'll be the next episode. Not a big deal. It's fine. Yeah. But if you have not seen any of the other chapters yet, please do so, because spoilers, unless you don't care about spoilers and you just want to see a cool story, and then I guess if that's why you want to do that, that's fine. Like, if you do want to listen to more, there are playlists of all the other books I've written and the short stories that I've done. Yeah. It's up to you, though. Episode 12, Chapter 6. Xisuma stumbled backwards as he landed on the dirt ground on the other side, getting to his feet moments before Gem and Pearl came stumbling through. "They're coming," Pearl warned, as Xisuma went over to the portal and pressed a few buttons. Immediately, the portal turned off as he smiled at them. "What did you do?" Gem asked in surprise, as she got to her feet, brushing herself off quickly. "I just sent them to the spawn point a couple thousand blocks away," the YouTuber mused as he turned on the machine again a few moments later. "It'll take them a while to find us. By that point, we will probably have dealt with Evox and prepared for the potential attack." "Do you think it'll happen?" Gem asked nervously. The YouTuber shook his head. "No, probably not. They do seem to like to plan things out carefully." "So we have time," Gem said slowly. "We've got some time." Xisuma agreed with a nod. "Now we just need to see what exactly Evox has been up to and what we can do about it." Where do you think he'll be?" Gem asked curiously. The YouTuber shrugged. "Somewhere in town, I assume. I think we'll know when we see it." "Lead the way then," Gem said cheerfully. The YouTuber smiled, nodding once more as he walked down the path and headed back to town, both curious and nervous about what he would find. The silence of the woods around them was eerie as he glanced around the area, knowing full well there could be nothing left of his home. Felix had returned to that style of villainy once more. But he couldn't be so sure. Soon enough, he could see some of the bases ahead, most of them remaining untouched. Even his own base looked completely fine, apart from the fact that there was a giant Evil X face on the side of it. "Well, someone has an ego," Gem said with a chuckle when she saw what he was looking at. Xisuma smiled. "Definitely." They kept continuing on the path until they neared the meeting hall. The YouTuber noticing there were people inside. Near the doors were two men who appeared to be in Mr. A's uniform, which puzzled him. Surely they wouldn't have known that they'd be coming that soon. "Stay back a bit," Xisuma warned. "I don't know what they're guarding or why, but I'm going to try to get in. It'll look less suspicious this way." "All right, just be careful," Pearl said quietly. The YouTuber nodded as he walked up to the men, trying to make it appear like he knew what he was doing. "Are you coming to see the prisoners, sir?" one of the guards asked him simply. Yes, I am," Xisuma said, with the best evil expression he could. He had to admit that it was pretty good, though it wasn't perfect. Hopefully the men wouldn't see through it. "They're a bit feisty in there, though," the man warned. "Trying to riot and escape numerous times. Well, hopefully I can knock some sense into them to stay put," Xisuma said in a low tone, trying to sound a little bit frustrated. Hopefully it came across that way. He walked into the hall to see it looked different than he last saw it. There was a large cell on one wall with several of the hermits inside. Spot grinned almost instantly. Not surprised he was amongst the people standing against "Xisuma, you're here," Grian said with what sounded like relief. "Shh, yes, of course," Xisuma said quietly. "Appears to me these men back there can't tell the difference." "That's good," Grian said quietly as he went over to the cage. Other hermits standing as they noticed him. Do you think you can get us out of here? I can, the YouTuber replied. Where's Evil X? Are there more mysterious men? Only those two here, I believe. Evil X is at your place, Korean described, as Xisuma lifted the hatch, blocking the door, and the YouTuber stepped out. He's only got a few of them with him. He's told us if we didn't cooperate, he'd hand it over to Mr. A. Well, that's not happening, the YouTuber said with a frown. Might be good to have some backup. We got you, another hermit said in the room. Xisuma nodded his head in gratitude. Should we ambush the two men before they realize something's up? Another asked. Let me go out there first to make sure they're distracted, Xisuma replied. Got it, Green nodded with a smile. Once everyone was ready, the YouTuber walked out of the hall purposefully as he turned to the two guards. You should probably amp up the security around here, he told them matter-of-factly. That's as strong as we can muster, sir, one of the guards said nervously. Without alerting any suspicion, of course. If any of those hermits escapes, it's on you, Xisuma warned darkly as the two men looked at each other nervously, just as the two hermits lunged at them from behind, quickly knocking them out before they had any chance to react. I suggest locking them up in the cell for now. Can't have them warning anyone or getting back up. The hermits nodded as the two men were dragged back into the hall, everyone exiting the hall in the process as he glanced over to the bushes, where he knew Gem and Pearl were hiding. He was interrupted when his name was called. So, what are we going to do now? Green asked the YouTuber, with Scar standing not too far behind. They both looked tattered and exhausted. In fact, a lot of the YouTubers did. What had happened while he was gone? Sure. Where's the cause exactly? The man asked. They're in another holding area, Green frowned. Evil X told them they were relieved from their duties, but all of them denied it, saying he had no power to do so, so he locked them up. Should we try to free them next? Xisuma asked nervously. Some of us can do that while you confront Evil X if you like, Scar offered matter-of-factly. That sounds like a plan, the YouTuber nodded. I also came with some extra help. Surely enough, Gem and Pearl finally called to cue as they slipped out of the bushes as he gestured for them to come over. Hey, Gem said with a light wave. I think we have more than enough to do this, Green said eagerly. Ready to cause some chaos? I am. Xisuma chuckled as they split off into groups. Xisuma sticking with Gem and Pearl along with Green, while Scar went off with the other group to try to free the imprisoned members of the cause. He couldn't help but be amused about how ironic this was. Usually it would be the cause helping them, and now it was the complete opposite. He didn't have much time to think about that as the four of them walked towards his base, which now appeared to have changed considerably since he'd last seen it. It appeared darker and more sinister, as if Evil X had taken some liberty to make it his own. He'd have to sort that out later, as they approached the base, seeing another of Mr. A's men standing by the door obediently. The YouTubers approached him as a perplexed expression appeared on the man's face. Obviously, there was a bit of confusion. What brings you four here? The man asked politely. We want to see Evil X. Can't you bring us to him? Xisuma asked confidently. He's a bit busy right now, the man started. We want to see him now. We must speak with him, Xisuma said firmly. After all, he and I know each other very well. You wouldn't want to miss what I have to say. The man sighed. He's upstairs in his study. My study, you mean? The YouTuber muttered under his breath, but continued louder. All right, I think we know where to go. You don't have to guide us there. How about it? The man said blandly, as he stepped aside as the four of them walked through. He seemed nice enough, Pearl admitted simply. Not all of them are cold-hearted monsters, Crane told her matter-of-factly. That's good to know, she replied with a smile, as they walked down the hallway towards the stairwell, as Xisuma tried to figure out what he should say to the man. What could he possibly do to make it easy for everyone? Would he have to fight Evil X, or would he just give up on his own? He was losing what little control he had already. Every step of even the YouTuber took. They finally arrived at the door to the study as Xisuma peeked in through the window, seeing the man with 2 bodyguards beside him. He seemed to be working on something, unless he was pretending to. It was hard to tell. "He looks just like you," Jem pointed out, curiously. "Just darker, personality-wise." I will elaborate that. "Yep," Xisuma nodded but it gave him an idea as he knocked on the door. "Come in," Evil X's voice said through the door. Sounding a bit annoyed, Xisuma opened the door and stepped inside, his friends following us. "Oh, it's you." "Yeah, it's me," Xisuma said with some. The guards looked just as confused as the one by the door had. "Did you think just shoving me into a portal world would stop me from trying to stop you?" "No," the man replied quickly. "I just needed time to get power, and I got it. These men have certainly been a help to me." "Have they now?" Xisuma said curiously, looking over at the 2 men. "Why would Mr. A's men willingly help a YouTuber?" "What do you mean by that, YouTuber?" one of the guards snapped angrily. "As you can see," Xisuma explained, ignoring Evil X's glare, "he looks just like me, because in some sense, he is me. Since I am a YouTuber, wouldn't that also make him a YouTuber?" "That does make sense," the second guard said softly, looking over at Evil X warily. "He's lying! Of course that's not true," Evil X said determinedly. "I'm not one of them. I'm trying to help you control them." "We don't want the control, though," the first man interjected. "Mr. A wants to see some of them, and having them locked up was the best way to ensure they wouldn't get away." "Well, we were locked up," Green stated, "but we got a little help getting out." "Shame," the second man said. "Mr. A's not gonna like that, especially with you involved." "You don't scare me," Green said defiantly. "Why don't we try to figure this out in the simplest and most peaceful way?" Xisuma asked, before the man could retort. "Right now, my friends are freeing the cause, which means you'll be horribly outnumbered once more. You can simply give up now, and no one would need to get hurt." "That's our line," the second man growled. "Too bad. Everyone can use it," Xisuma said plainly. "As for you, Evil X, I should have expected better of you. I had no issue getting back here. I had no issue getting my friends out. I have no issue trying to spoil your plans." "It wouldn't have worked anyway, now that you're here," the man grumbled. "I've clearly been lied to." "You lied to us as well, remember?" First man asked coldly. "Be quiet, we're done here," Flex said, as he got up from the seat and headed out the door, shoving Xisuma aside as he did so before whispering, "We'll meet again." "Sure we will," Xisuma replied simply, as the man disappeared from sight. "Well, that was easy," Jem said in amusement. "Almost too easy?" one of the men asked coldly, as the YouTuber heard swords being extended. As their attention was brought back to them, the men were now standing in front of the desk, their swords extended, dark looks on their expression. "Yeah," Xisuma said bitterly. "Well, unfortunately for you, you fell right into our trap." The second man sneered as the YouTuber heard the door open again, seeing the man from the entrance blocking it. They were indeed trapped. Anyway, this is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please be sure to leave any thoughts, questions, theories, anything that you want to leave down in the comments below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one, whenever that might be. Goodbye.